And this morning we thought we would probably talk to one of the real experts on radio obscenity, who is standing by in Pinellas Park. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am. This may cost me my job, Rogers, but frankly, you're full of doo-doo.
Oh, that's okay.
Hello, Mr. Lassiter.
Although, wait a minute. Does that have to do with excretory something?
I'm not really sure.
Or is it just that you haven't grown up and you continue to talk in baby talk? If that's the case, it's okay.
There's a lot of bowl number 2, if you ask me.
Ooh. See, here he goes, man. We've had him on like for 20 seconds, and he's just spewing it out, man. It's just like a gigantic telephone enema.
Well, I'm really tickled off at the whole thing, Rogers.
There's a guest here in the studio who'd like to say hello to you.
Hello, Mr. Lassiter. How is everything up there doing?
Everything is fine up here doing.
You still have that
right there in the studio with you?
He's in the studio. We have him captured in here, and Lee Fowler is on his way with a group of board ops, and they're gonna beat the crap out of him.
Well, I'd chain him to the chair. I wouldn't let him get away. Take his phone privileges at least.
They're taken away. Don't worry about that.
Good, good.
That's okay, but we have sources up in Tampa who help me get through. We were trying to get through on that 800 number, but I don't want you to pay $1 for it. That wouldn't be fair.
Don't answer the 800 number anymore.
You don't?
Oh, only when we're desperate and don't have any other calls do we answer.
Oh, no wonder it was ringing along.
In other words, every 20 minutes. So how are things going over there, Bob?
Things are going pretty good.
How's the wife?
The wife is fine, thank you.
Did you get the newsletter up
there?
What
is this, how's the wife? What is this, is this the Joe Franklin show? By the way, speaking of Joe Franklin, he had Professor Irwin Corey on again last night, and I got to tell you something. That man is the funniest man in the history of mankind.
I didn't know he was still alive.
He's hysterical. He really is. And, of course, Joe Franklin, you know what a great sense of humor he's got. And he's sitting there and he's trying to interview his 40 other guests who are sitting, sprawled over the couch. And Irwin Corey just keeps going on and on. It was great. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but...
Well, it actually has a great deal to do with things because they are dropping, apparently, the PTL network up here and replacing it with WOR out of New York.
Hey, listen to that. There's hope for mankind. Is that in Pinellas?
Yes, that is a big secret. No one knows that yet.
Even in Pinellas County, that's with 2 L's, we're coming into the 20th century. Mm-hmm. Well, wait till the governor finds out about that. He'll probably try to stop it.
Well, there is some talk about that.
So, which of the words did you want to say to us this morning? Don't do it, please. I'm asking the wrong guy.
No, we work for the same company. I wouldn't dare.
Well, you did once.
Can we rip Bob while he's on the line?
Go ahead. You can rip him. He's got broad shoulders.
Bob did...
Big shoulders. Enormous.
Bob.
Yes?
You there? Of course you are. How did... how close was it between you and TalkNet?
How close is it? Tonight? Not even...
Numbers. I mean, not distance, like... What?
Near. The man's pulling like an 18 share in this market.
And you have a 5, but I heard you had the highest
Wait a
share.
minute. Who's pulling an 18 share?
TalkNet.
Why is there this deafening silence?
Didn't hear what you said.
No. Who's pulling an 18 share in that market?
Bruce.
Bruce Williams?
Yes. And I've been on the show also.
The highest live local numbers, which are just under a 5 for most hours, just over a 5 for one. That's far and away the highest local. But Bruce Williams is pulling 16s, 17s, and 18s.
Oh, my God.
Amazing.
We have to have a saliva test in the Tampa Bay area, ladies and
gentlemen.
There
are morons up there.
I don't think there is any saliva up here. That's one of the main problems.
I can't believe that. Are you serial or is this a put-on?
Oh, that's for real.
That's why FLA is doing so good. Oops.
I had a call from somebody at WFLA the other day. Had a message, some lady at WFLA. And I threw it in a wastebasket and I laughed. I wonder what that was all about.
Well, they are aware of you. I had lunch with some people over there this week, and we were talking about you.
In other words, they were calling me to offer me a job, perhaps?
I don't think that was it, but we were talking about the FCC and you and Howard Stern last Tuesday. And that
I see.
Prompted it.
Well, the chances of my talking to FLA in one of the competing stations, that would be outrageous.
I don't know, Neil. I think they pay pretty well. They'd probably get $250, maybe even $285 a week for you.
Really?
They'd like you up there, too. All those.
Yeah, I'd be big in that market, man.
Oh, you really would?
I'd be almost as big as Bernard Meltzer.
Bernard probably is doing over there. Well, it's funny that Bernard is beating all the Ask the Attorneys on W Snooze, which is kind of interesting. He is. He's beating them by, I
think one thing that all three of us have in common is a basic intrinsic love for Lee Fowler. I don't think there's any question about that.
Bob, do you have any latest information about Lee?
I talked to Lee this very week.
You did? What did he have to say?
No.
Oh, that's all. Oh no. Okay, I get it. Okay.
That was good.
Don't even go over there. They're going.
But Bob isn't going to go too far because he knows that when the door is still, even if there's a little creak in the door, that he just doesn't want to close it all the way.
I wouldn't give Lee the pleasure. He'd probably do better than he would. He has he beat he's just as popular as Shirley. 2.5, 2.6 for him and 2.5 for Shirley.
Last time I had spoken with him, he told me over my dead body. And there was a report up here this week that he'd had a stroke and died on the air.
No, that's not true. You got to tell Joyce to straighten out her sources. I spoke to her today. She called me up at home. Joyce.
Boy, now see, this is getting really inside. Is that misfit down in Homestead?
Why are you calling her a misfit?
She's working at PLP now.
She's a wonderful person.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Now, the audience is listening to all of this, and they haven't got any idea, and I'm beginning to agree with Mark Kuhn that this has gotten so inside that even I haven't got any idea what any of these people are talking about. All of these, we have like several different levels of crank callers and groupies and subgroupies and subhumans, and it's just amazing what goes on in the periphery of the real world.
You want to know about Joyce Bender?
Of course.
Okay.
Is she related to Tom Bender?
To Bender Over.
Oh, she's probably full sister to Dr. Bendova. That's
from
Al Rantel's favorite guest, yeah. Bendova. Go ahead.
She used to work at WRBA, which is a country station now, which is off the air. She used to do weekend nights over there, and she used to call John McHugh over here and play him records and stuff like that.
John McHugh, that's a familiar name.
John McHugh. Yeah. He every time I speak to him, he takes shots at you, Bob.
The radio douchebag, you remember him?
Yeah, well, at least I'm working.
No, he's working too now. Matter of fact, he's the general manager of WZOR in Immokalee.
That is pretty funny when you stop and think about it.
He's doing news over there in Spanish and accent.
I'll tell you one thing, they're big in Indians over there, man. He's got 8,000 Indians and migrant workers. It's fantastic.
His air name is Raul Travajas.
And I got news for you. They're loyal because when they get that buck to fill out the diary, man, they'll do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
So he's got an enormous audience.
He'll send that in, too.
You believe this? I mean, do you believe this is on the air? Because I'll tell you, I sure don't. Anyway, getting back to why I called you, because I'm sure that someone who lost a job over an innocent four-letter word probably is apoplectic. It turns out that most of the people on the air in this market are a bunch of wimps.
They don't know who Lassiter is.
They're really a bunch of wimps because, I'm the only one who's really making a shrill protest to this, and the other ones, of course, are, busy licking the boots of the commissioners up there.
Lee.
Kidding me.
Oh, yeah, even Fowler is quoted in the Herald this morning as saying, I think it's a good decision. There are many irresponsible people in this business who are offensive and have no business being on the radio. And of course, we all know that Lee is patently offensive just on the face of him.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
With his sex elephant polls and how often do elephants do it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's recently been involved in a series of sex polls.
I wonder why. Is that like that old
I like
cliche?
Lee. He's my favorite down there.
People who don't get to talk about it the most?
Exactly.
Can we say that about Lee?
No question about it, although Kathy West is an exception. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry. You were saying what? You say what?
I just said that Lee Fowler is my favorite talk host.
He's my favorite, too, especially David Fowler up, and they have another Fowler up where, just before last, I think, in the mornings.
And I keep losing my train of thought because I'm trying to have a conversation, and this misfit over here just keeps rambling on with incoherent non sequiturs that make absolutely no sense even to him.
But why do you have that misfit in the studio?
He just showed up here today. He just showed up, and we felt sorry for him. We figured, he's been desperate for so long to have some attention, and we thought we'd give him some.
But this is the man or the boy that you would call me in the middle of the night and cry about.
Exactly. He used to bring tears to my eyes.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Now, what were you saying about what you said yesterday or last night about the FCC ruling? Are we going to ever get to that, or is this just going to be one of those teases that goes on and on and on?
Oh, I did about 15 or 20 minutes on it.
That's it?
Just totally ignored it. They were not in the least bit interested.
I can check that out.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, I'm dead serious.
I mean, this is on the front page of the Miami Herald this morning. Of the world-famous Herald and Channel 4 and the world-famous Channel 6 news people came by yesterday during my show. And if Channel 6 comes by to cover it, it's got to be big stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the front page of the St. Petersburg Times this morning has Florida and other states revive long-term alimony.
Oh, that's good. Now, wait a minute. I bet they're big on the obscene bumper sticker law, though, aren't they?
No, that isn't really even known about up here.
They don't have cars up there.
Can I ask you a stupid question? What the hell is it that they do talk about up there?
What, on my show or the others?
On any show up there.
Well, for example, this morning, my station, there's a very hot conversation with a druggist in someplace in Kentucky.
Oh, wait a minute. Can you give me a prescription for penicillin?
I doubt it very much.
No, I'm serious. I'm getting a strep throat.
You are?
And Kathy West has gone all the way home to get me whatever this stuff is, to get me some drugs.
West?
Yeah.
Who is Kathy West?
We don't have time to go into it. She's in a family way.
She's pregnant. Guess who's the father?
I wouldn't even want to try.
It's a long pause here. I noticed that.
I wouldn't even want to.
Go ahead. Don't let him. Don't let him deep six this conversation. Just keep going. Ignore him. Pretend he's not here.
Well, no. This market up here could not care less. First of all, we don't have anything that even comes close in this market, with a possible exception of the Q Zoo. Now, on the Q Zoo, they are extremely racist and sexist. That's okay. That is not indecent. And Mason Dixon, the operations manager at the Q Zoo, was quoted in yesterday.
Mason Dixon?
Mason Dixon, right. Was quoted in the paper yesterday saying that he thought indecent radio was awful and he would never do it. But they just sit there and take shots at every minority known to man and perpetuate every stereotype known to man. But that's not indecent. The thing doo-doo is.
Mason Dixon?
I don't make up these names.
I can't believe it. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And that's about as far as it has gone.
What kind of a stiff market is that? I mean, how are you surviving up there? How is a man with an IQ of at least over 3, and I know that from personal experience, from some of those long, depressing conversations we've had on the phone about you wanting to get out of there, how is a person able to survive mentally?
I'm lucky I have my own following, and after a year and a half of going berserk up here, I do whatever I want to do. I take a lot of heat for it, and it costs me money out of my pocket. However...
Well, what, does that mean you pay to be on the air?
Almost.
You pay by the hour or by the minute?
Close. It's very close to my paying them to be on the air. No, with endorsements and live spots.
Yeah, can I let it out of the bag?
What's that?
All the people up there don't like Lassiter's views, so they're calling up the sponsors, and they've actually had an impact on his sponsorship on the show.
Oh, yeah, sure.
See, now that's the difference between the two markets, because down here, especially during the Hallandale thing, they tried that. And, there were one or two nervous people who, went into limbo for a few days, and they all came back.
Oh, there are people up here who threatened to turn me into the Chamber of Commerce, that I'm bad for tourism.
To turn you into the Chamber of Commerce? And what is the Chamber of Commerce going to do to you, Bob? Oh, boy, they're going to sentence you to 2 weeks in Clearwater with the Scientologists.
Clearwater's where it's at. Clearwater is the action town up here.
Boy, that says a lot.
I thought Bob's going to work at WSUN playing bingo on the air with the old people.
That would be good. Man, I'm telling you, those old ladies, they still just go nuts. They're probably right now hearing your voice is doing things for them, the likes of which even Dr. Ruth couldn't do.
He has more crankers all up there per square inch than anybody in all...
You get a lot of crank calls up there?
Millions.
Not the way that you do in Miami.
No, he does. He's lying to you. I have them I have him on tape. I should have brought the tape. Bob, you get so many crank calls up there. Hello, Mr. Lassiter.
Who are just enraged. They are for real people. They're not calling up just to crank. They're calling up because they can't take it anymore.
Oh, in other words, they're really PO'd.
Yes. Really tinkled off.
See, I'm still waiting for that letter to come in the mail. You know, this McKinney that I had on yesterday, I asked him if it was true that they sent a personal letter of warning to Howard Stern.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, the warning is not only for Howard, it's for you too, Neil, and for everybody else. Like, just a little subtle intimidation, about as subtle as an elephant in a china shop. Okay, listen, hold on a second. You're not going anywhere, are you?
I?
Like I said, hold on a minute. 20 minutes past 11 at WINZ. Bob Lassiter is with us. Fruitcake is here in the studio. If Lee is listening, by the way, you know where the station is, and we have an open-door policy here.
Moving from one place to another is a big step, and it's important to work with someone that you trust. If you're considering a move, call your neighborhood moving and storage experts, Father and Son Moving and Storage. Father and Son has been family-owned and operated since 1908. 3 generations of moving experience, and you'll receive modern moving.
24 minutes past 11 at WINZ. We're speaking with Tom Likas, and... No, actually, Bob Lassiter's on the phone, and you'll be pleased to know that some little old lady in tennis shoes just called Kyle and is just spazzing. She's so delighted to hear your mellifluous voice.
Oh.
Stentorian.
Oh, Gene. Was Gene?
I don't know who it was. One of those old bags that used to call you on the weekend.
What do you mean they're all your listeners? You told them?
Not anymore, they're not, man. I've sent them all to Siberia. My audience is all under 10. By the way, I want you to understand the impact of this. The business about exploiting children, children may be listening, that business.
Oh, well, of course, that's just a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, they're using children as an excuse to be fascist and censor free speech. But the bottom line is, you know who they're referring to? They're not talking about anybody under 12 because all of this is based on the nationwide Arbitron ratings, according to Mr. McKinney of the FCC. And as a result of that, since there are no measurements for anyone under 12, they're talking about people between the ages of 12 and 17. Now, aren't you just positive as can be that somebody, say, 15 years old is really offended when they hear somebody use one of the words that they use, 400 times a day on the average?
Yeah.
Well, the extraordinary thing is last night on the way into work, we stopped off and got a quick hamburger at McDonald's, okay?
Wait a minute. Was Craig Worthing with you?
No, he wasn't.
You don't know what it's like not to be able to afford to go to McDonald's when you don't have $1 in your pocket, friends. You don't know what that's like.
There was a man sleeping in one of the benches over there. But
did he have a sailor hat on?
Yes, he did.
And brown checkered pants? I can't believe it. I can't believe he came all the way back in this morning to do Al's show. That's incredible.
I don't know who it was, but he did look familiar. And in any event, we're sitting in the booth, and there's a booth next to us with two women, apparently young mothers, perhaps under 30. Just over, if not under. We were getting up to leave, and one of them said, and I just think the whole thing, whatever they were talking about, is a bunch of bull, you know what. The point is, you can go into even McDonald's with Ronald and the American flag and the Monopoly game and the whole thing.
And the boots.
For this language all over the place.
Does anybody remember the Watergate tapes, Nixon's tapes?
Apparently not.
I was going to say Tricky Dick, but we can't say that on the air anymore either.
Well, does anyone remember our illustrious president calling the members of the press?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. Even Ronnie has used expletives. I can't believe it. Well, you got to understand, we're living in this Casper milquetoast world that the FCC and all those senile old farts up in Washington, that's where they come from.
It has nothing to do with children. It makes the people themselves the moral majority, the Federation for Decency, and all of these other right-wing...
Morality and media, by the way, are jumping on the bandwagon on this one now. They say that they're going to, in fact, it's in a Wall Street Journal that our guest brought in this morning. Bradley Curl, National Director of Morality and Media, says that they're going to be monitoring Howard Stern's show and complain to the commission if he violates the broader indecency standard that they passed yesterday. So
they had something also in there about increasing promiscuity in there. Did you see that? Was a little quote down there at the end of the article about saying that if people started using those kind of words on the air, then AIDS would, I guess, get out of control.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. All somebody has to do is say douchebag on the air, and right away everybody grabs the person next to them and starts doing, obscene things. By the way, if there are people in the audience who'd like to speak to Bob Lassiter, wouldn't you love to do that?
I've got to take calls, too.
Calls. He'll get it checked, don't worry.
This is our dime, you understand. You know what a cheap company this is.
You know, I've got to talk to all of your tush cavities down there?
Exactly.
Okay.
Would you do that?
Of course.
Okay. Now, if there are any, we've already got a whole bunch of people that have been hanging on. I have no idea why, because yours is, what did we do? We took this call right after the news? So what the hell are these other people still hanging on for, man? I'm telling you, they are loyal, aren't they? Not too bright, but they are loyal. They hang on and on and on. It's just incredible. Okay, we have a couple of open lines there in Dade at 624-0191, and I'm sure that there must be some Lassiter groupies in Dade who would just spaz at the nose to get on the phone and hear this mellifluous, soothing voice from Pinellas Park speak into the phone and say, "Aw, shucks. Pshaw. Aw, pshaw." I bet you don't say that up there, do you? You wouldn't have the guts to say pshaw in Pinellas Park.
The callers say it.
Have we got one for him?
It doesn't have the shock value up here that it had in Miami.
You know what would be embarrassing?
What?
If nobody wanted to talk to you.
That would be.
That would be mortifying.
They don't know who Lassiter is. It's been a long time.
You see how soon they forget? Man, they haven't got any idea who the hell you are.
How long has it been, Bob?
Pardon?
How long has it been since you... When was the last day? When was your last day here? Do you remember the date?
December the 8th.
When was it?
A year ago, December the 8th.
Oh, over a year, like almost a year and a half.
December the 8th, 1985.
Boy, that's incredible. That was,
you cleaned house over here.
That was right around the time of our last Talk Mania. In fact, that was the same weekend, wasn't it?
I think I know who that caller was, by the way, who made you say that. Well, how'd you like his number? I know who it is, too.
Do you really?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
the guy
who
called us and said, "Oh, Mr. Lassiter, you're a communist." And,
yeah.
And so you are full of...
yeah.
Doo-doo.
No, it wasn't me, although it's been alleged.
Doo-doo. I said
okay, listen, we got some calls for Bob? Oh, we do? Is that Fort Lauderdale call for Bob Lassiter? Well, let's check it out. Hello?
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 Yes.
Me?
Yeah, I think this is a crank call.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Faggot, get off there.
I know it. See, I knew it immediately. Okay. I can't believe he said that to Bob. North Miami, hello.
Bob. Mr. Lassiter.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Please come home.
I tried to, but they won't let me.
Isn't there anything, you can do with Mr. Fowler that would convince him to put you on?
Well, as a matter of fact, I just asked him that question this very week, and he's...
This is another crank caller, by the way.
It's not a crank caller. I think Mr. Lassiter is one of the best talk hosts we've ever had in South Florida.
Well, next to John Broward.
Please.
Okay, sir. Good luck to you. I'm not going to press my luck with that one. Yeah, have a happy Sukkot. Okay, man, I'm telling you, you're bringing him out of the woodwork today, I'll tell you that.
Dan Slate brought that card and that little thing that you did on the air, and he's going to play it right now.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's interrupt the segment with Lassiter for just a second. We have a little special thing here that's just been handed to me from the news department. Prior to the arrival of the now famous FCC letter, the federal authorities have devised this FCC Danger Zone cart, which is to be played when a would-be talk show host is getting near what the commission feels is obscene and indecent.
Ooh.
That was it?
That's it. It's only 17 seconds.
That's the bad song?
23 people in the production department, and that's the best they can come up with.
Are you serious?
No, there has to be, maybe not here, but the other stations have a Stacy Q and all those double entendres in there.
Well, no,
I can't believe it, Dan. What happened to you? Has something happened to your mind since we last spoke? I mean, that on a scale, I mean, Dan has been just working to a frenzy in a production studio, and I thought he's been putting such great stuff together for us. And I thought that this was going to be a real winner.
Version. Oh. Well, that's just to let people know when you're getting near the danger zone so they can get their...
I mean, that was so weak on a scale of 0, and while Lassiter is on the phone, we might as well play something that Lassiter will enjoy.
Blue skies.
Hello, this is Michael Jackson, urging you to help stop the spread of social disease. Don't risk your life by having a romantic encounter with an unfamiliar acquaintance. I urge you to do like I do. Go it alone. But make sure you wear protection. That's why I recommend the Michael Jackson glove. Worn on either hand, the Michael Jackson glove adds the security and peace of mind that I need to do it myself. So remember, before you pull it out, put it on. And...
The Michael Jackson glove, proving once again that a bird in the hand is better than one in the bush. Available in sequin models for extra stimulation.
Okay. Now, I bet they would play that in Tampa, wouldn't they?
I doubt it very much.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
Well, what a bunch of old bags up there. And let's see. A woman wants to talk about that foul-mouthed Don Webb.
Ooh.
Webb.
Boy, that ought to be good. Well, let's see who's in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm not a crank caller, and I want to say hello to Bob and tell him I miss him.
Well, thank you.
I have friends over in the Tampa area who hear about you or hear you all the time. And I'm wondering if you ever go to Utica or Boonville or Old Forge anymore.
No, I've not been up that way for probably a dozen years.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I miss you, Bob.
Thank you. I miss you, too.
I used to listen to you all the time, and I enjoyed you. And, of course, I like Neil, and I listen to him. But anyway, I'm glad to hear you today.
Oh, pshaw.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey, Bob.
Yes?
Have a nice Easter.
I'll try.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Can't believe it. Even Jimmy Carter never said, oh, pshaw, to the Ayatollah. Hollywood, hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, Bob. Can I speak to Bob?
Sure you can.
Bob, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
That's good. I'm the girl who called you in in Tampa from time to time. I mean, I'm not on the air, but I usually call you before you go on the air. Do you remember me? I'll never tell you my name.
You live in Sarasota?
Pardon me?
Do you live in Sarasota?
He's in Hollywood. I call you to tell you I miss you. You probably...
Sympathy calls.
And I want to tell you, Bob, I called Lee Fowler a few weeks ago, and he was asking for name who could replace, Steve Kane, and I gave your name. Did he ever call you?
No, he didn't.
He didn't call you, Lee Fowler? I told him it would be nice if we could get you. And
that afternoon.
We miss you so much here, and I think you're so intelligent and everything, and I don't think you belong where you are. You belong in the big city.
No one belongs where I am, ma'am.
Well, can you come back?
I could if they'd let me.
Well, at WINZ, they could put you instead of Taffy.
Yes, they could, as a matter of fact, but they won't.
Well, if I call... as a matter of fact, I called Mr. Kuhn many times, and I mentioned your name.
Well, the problem is it's Neil Rogers. He's the one that's blocking me in the market.
Neil Rogers could do something for you, because he knows the right people.
Maybe pay his salary.
Well, I'm going to wait until you come back, Bob, because we really need you in Florida, because we got besides Neil Rogers, we have nobody.
I understand that. Well, there is Lee Fowler.
Oh, come on.
Okay, ma'am, listen, have a wonderful life, but it's commercial time. We're going to put Lassiter on hold one more time here, because he's just got a torrent of calls, and we do have one open line in Dade if you hurry at 624-0191, because Steve won't be back on the air till the 1st of July. 624-0191. It's 24 before noon at WINZ. We have our usual cast of Saturday Misfits here, and we'll come right back. Okay, 21 before noon, we have Bob Lassiter in Pinellas Park, and we also have Steve Kane's replacement in the studio with it.
Say hi. Hi, Neil. Is Bob on? I want to talk to Bob about some good gossip.
He's on here, yeah.
Are you there, Bob?
I'm right here.
Hey, so what were you talking about Mason Dixon?
Just what I said.
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
He isn't decent. He would never do anything like that.
Oh, I have stories of Mason Dixon that would burn from one...
By the way, thank you for these drugs.
Yeah. I'm delivering. I can just see all those mothers out there going, I can't believe she's giving out prescription drugs. Say hi to Bob. Say hi, Bob. Anyway, so how's it up there?
How come she won't talk now, man? During the break, she was
like
uttering...
Mother,
you have to say that three-letter word.
She was uttering obscenities during the break. Yeah. That was one of them. Now, you see, if VP, we heard that the first time. If children say it, it's okay. If adults say it, then it's bad.
Bob,
don't you understand? You've got to protect the adults who are listening out there.
That's right. We don't want to hear about
exactly. There was another one.
Problem.
I thought you didn't have any adults left, Neil. I thought your audience had gotten much
under
younger.
10,
I told you, they're all under 10 now. Taffies, yeah, those are taffies. Those are white flowers, real white.
It is boring in Pinellas Park, let me just tell you. Somebody that
Fluffy,
lives there.
Yeah. Listen, what she's saying is a hell of a lot more interesting than what you're saying, I'll tell you that.
This could be our audition tape. She could send it to Lee.
That's my cake there. Okay. Say hi, Neil. Say hi, Neil. No way.
Ooh, man, she's scared of that thing.
Well,
I think she's seen too many of those around your house.
So what's going on up there?
Nothing. Very quiet. Very quiet.
Yeah, Mason Dixon. I hear Mason Dixon's going to be on TV with I guess the Morning Zoo is going to be.
But the Morning Zoo is going to be on Jones Cape.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
All right, well, we just came to give Neil some relief from his...
She wants you back on the air also.
Who what?
She does.
Yeah. Hi, Flowers. That's real nice.
Is she saying Flowers or Fluffy? I think she's talking about Fluffy McCallum.
There you go.
Boy, she's going to do a good job from 3 to 7, isn't she? Man, I'm going to tell you.
Be my replacement.
Only tell her to clean up her language. Yeah, exactly. That's going to be her first. She's going to have the plant man on the first day. Is going to be her first day.
She'll say frog, and that'll really
frog?
come out bad.
Uh-oh.
Froggy?
No, she said the word that just...
Oh, that's very close to froggy, but not exactly a match.
And fork.
Yeah, right. Great. Okay, are you listening, Mr. McMillan? Okay. Now, this is a 2-year-old child, okay, so it can't be to appeal to the prurient interest of our adult audience.
Tell Mason I said hi. And
okay, thank you, Kathy. That was very thoughtful, but don't do it again. Thank you. Miami, hello. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Bye-bye. Yes, ma'am.
Speak to Lassiter, please.
Go ahead. This is for you, Bob.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Lassiter, I'm not one of the Saturday degenerates normally, but I really do miss you, and I sure wish you were back on the air down here. I really thought that Neil Rogers was the one that was stopping you from being on the air. I'd come over there and punch him in the nose.
Well, it is true. I got more calls than Neil.
Get out of here.
All of them were for me. That's the only problem.
Yeah, they were all cranks. That was the problem.
Bob, you're on the hit parade, top 10.
Well, one call is more than Neil Rogers gets, so no matter how many you got more than him.
Was begging for calls.
Are you attacking him?
No, not really.
This is another one of those Lassiter callers always attacking Neil. Boy, I can't believe it.
Let me say this.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I didn't like Neil Rogers originally, but I've been listening to him, and I'm getting used to him. You know, he's kind of like a wart on your finger. You get used to him.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, I sure...
A big wart.
sure do miss you, and I wish you'd come back down here.
Well, that's very kind. I appreciate it.
Well, you take care of yourself, and, gee, if you can, do come down, even if you go to another station.
Okay.
Okay.
WKAT.
Thank you. Oh, shucks. This is good, isn't it? Oh, shucks. Man, I'm going to tell you something. The tinkle meter has just gone right off the end. Let's go to Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
Was there a decision by the Supreme Court that the 7 words could not be used, or was there a legal decision at all?
That's correct. The Supreme Court.
Can the FCC preempt that legal decision?
No, they're not preempting it. They're expanding it. And, of course, it is going to be challenged by the ACLU, and it is going to go to court again. The only thing you have to be concerned about is when you look at the composition of this court, somehow I just can't see Sandra Day O'Connor saying douchebag. I'm just real nervous about it.
We still have that 5-4 sometimes.
Yeah.
So they fluctuate. They swing both ways.
Right.
Okay, I just wanted to ask that. I wasn't sure if there was a decision or not. And I like the idea. Maybe we can get blasted there in that 2 to 4 shift, you think? Can you pull some strings or nothing? Or what?
How about 3 to 7?
How about 2 to 6?
How about 2 to 4? You don't like the 2 to 4.
He's not saying anything now. He's speechless.
Like with me, my bags are packed. My bags have always been packed.
Oh, if you can get Neil to pull some strings for you, he has a lot of clout now.
I got news for you. I got about as much clout with this present regime as a dead frog, okay? That's how much clout I've got.
Anyway,
they don't even speak to me. Okay, thank you. They don't even speak to me. They pass me in a hall and they mutter like, ooh, there he is. What's he going to do today, Lauderhill, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I get over to Tampa quite a bit, and I listen to WPLP.
You're the one.
Yeah, their signal is good for about 20 miles.
That 20 blocks.
Yeah, very weak signal. But I'll tell you, I listen to the talk radio over there, and I cannot believe where these people are coming from. They really are in the dark ages.
Yeah. Well, most of them are coming from Bradenton.
Yeah, well, Sarasota. And,
oh, boy.
And they want to hang everybody, and they think that Reagan should be canonized. And
well, maybe we ought to put Taffy on the air over there, and we'll swap her for Lassiter and bring him back here.
They couldn't use Taffy over there. She's too left-wing.
Well, the Miami market is really much more conservative than the Tampa market. The Tampa market are a bunch of armchair Social Security recipients who hate everybody. In Miami, the conservatives down there put on fatigues and go out into the Everglades on the weekends and practice.
With John.
Can I talk to Bob for 1 minute, ask him one question?
Go ahead, sir. This is America.
Okay, Bob, when you were doing the, I guess it was 5 to 8 or something, I would leave Tampa probably around 5 o'clock and start down 75, and I could pick you up almost to Fort Myers. And you get into something really, free-swinging and liberal and making people think. And then the calls just start coming in. You got to be frustrated. I got the feeling that the people weren't listening to what you were talking about.
Well, that's the same case in Miami as it is up here, if you really want to know the truth. The Miami market... how can I phrase this? The Miami market was more inclined to express their opinion. Up here, the people just express their frustration. They just call up and scream. You can't really get a dialogue going. And yeah, sure, it's frustrating for me. I go home many a night.
How about this, if you want to do a morning show in competition with the zoo over there, and let's have it Neil and Bob?
Hey, it's fine with me. I think that would be great. It would probably last, an hour and a half, 2 hours?
I didn't think you'd make 10 minutes.
The FM here is looking for people, Bob. Maybe you could...
Yeah, the FM is speechless. As a matter of fact, over the last book, they're speechless. They haven't said anything for 2 weeks, and I think they got another 2 weeks to go before they're going to let their people start speaking again.
Well, I heard a rumor that they'd taken all the pictures of the FM people down.
Oh, that's been for over a year. In fact, just when you left, they took them all down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, the book. This last book had to be in 2 colors so they could put the FM rating in red.
And Lee's.
Okay, sir. Well, listen, good luck to you. Have a great life, and adios.
I'll work on that great life, Neil.
Okay. 12 minutes before noon at WINZ.
Couples concerned about that house gout. Listen.
Chances are.
Hi. Hello. Water's warm, huh?
I'll say.
You come here often?
Pardon me?
Have you been here before?
No, first time.
Oh. What's your name?
Freeway.
Freeway, that's nice. I'm Spigot.
Pleased to meet you, Spigot.
Same here. You here to get clean or what?
Oh, I don't know.
You work around here?
I'm a waiter, but actually I'm an actor, you know.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's tough, isn't it? You probably need to relax.
Oh, I'll say, but, you know, with everything that's in the news and all, it's just...
Hey, you can start relaxing right now, Freeway. I brought something.
Ooh,
sheath. And Freeway, not just any sheath either. Look.
Wow, gold lame.
Pretty kicky condom, huh? But here's the most important part, Freeway. The Protect label.
Protect, huh? Aren't those endorsed
by the City Council of San Francisco? Absolutely. You know the Protect slogan, don't you?
I sure do.
Certified safe by the city by the bay. Well, what do you say?
Darn, look at that. I dropped the soap again.
Oh.
I'll get it.
You bet your life he will. And with confidence, because Freeway and Spigot have condom sense. Don't let worry spoil those chance meetings and public showers. Always carry Protect.
Protect. Keep my mind free as can be. Protect. Been down with no apology.
Don't doubt. Know what it's all about. The Protect sheath, so they won't send you a wreath. Protect Condoms, a division of Black Flag House and Garden Pest Control Division, keeping situations safe since 1887.
It's 10 before noon at WINZ. I hope you're promoting safe sex in Tampa.
Oh, indeed I am.
Excellent. Okay, we have another call from Kendall. I'm sure I know who this is. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
No, this isn't who you think it is.
Okay.
Hello, Neil.
Hi.
I've been listening to you since KAT days, but I very seldom call. But what I want to do is say hello to Bob.
Oh, hi there.
Bob? This is the lady from Oakland.
Oh, sure, I remember.
Yeah, only Newton Crook is apart.
That's right.
Apart, right? Newton Crook keeps us apart. And I'm glad to hear from you, and I think about you, and boy, do I wish you could get on somewhere here, like everybody else.
Yes, everybody else is on down there but me.
Here.
And the only other thing I want to tell you is I was listening the other day to a talk show host, and he got mad over people saying, why do people say crick? It's supposed to be creek, you know.
Oh, wait a minute, who is this?
Oh, who is this bozo?
On WNWS.
Crick?
Huh?
That must have been Craig Worthing.
Craig Worthing.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
boy.
was carrying on about people saying crick instead of creek, and I was thinking about us. We say Newton Crick.
Well, that's because Craig's been up a crick without a saddle for so long.
Evidently, that part of the country, Neil, that's in New Jersey. I lived in the little town right next to Bob.
Really?
Yes, where I grew up and everything.
And of course, Jerry, we also know that Jerry Wichner is from New Jersey too. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, he's from
Kramer Hill.
South.
Kramer Hill.
Kramer Hill, yeah. I'm from Oakland, which Bob knows is next. He's from Collingswood. That's
in fact, I think Jerry was akin to that mass murderer that they had up there.
Yes, he sounds like it.
Yeah.
Okay, Bob, I just wanted to tell you that people get mad at us for saying crick, but I can't get out of the habit.
All right.
I'm still saying crick.
Okay,
so
that's what that nun said on Kathy's show this morning. Well, listen, ma'am, it's been great hearing from you, but life must go on. Coral Gables, hello.
Yeah, how are you? I'm 34 years old, okay, and I have, remember Bob when he was on the show, and it was great. Let me tell you, the best combination radio had was Neil Rogers and Bob Lassiter, and you couldn't beat this. You guys, I mean, the intellectual point of view, the way you guys presented it, and there's no better combination in town. And I'm sorry he left, and I'm just waiting around when one of these radio stations, either WINZ or one of the others, would just bring Lassiter back. I'm assuming it's a question of time. And Bob, let me tell you, I can see how you feel over there because when you got This is a very low-hick town where you're living. I can imagine how depressed you are living in that place.
Well, I want to tell you, after the last call, hearing that crick or creek was a topic of conversation.
Exactly.
I'm not so sure I want to come back.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. This is a more sophisticated town. Listen, Neil.
We even had a caller yesterday from Rock Creek. Go ahead, sir.
How long is it going to be? You think Bob will come back to Miami somehow in a radio station? Give me some kind of the odds.
No, he's going to be back in a couple of weeks, sir. I didn't want to let it out of the bag, but you know me.
Bob, I really hope you make it back because these people are sleeping. I don't know what's going on. You're a great talent, just like Neil Rogers, and I hope you come back maybe. Who cares? Maybe tomorrow. I wish I could. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you'll be back.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, now listen, we're going to do our last break. Do you want to stick around a little more, or is your wife getting hysterical?
My wife is starting to get hysterical. I'll go
so.
With you till noon, but that's it.
What do you mean till noon?
Mike, wait.
It's 6:30 till noon. We got a 3-minute break, so I guess when we come back, we'll have to say goodbye. So long for a while to Bob Lassiter when we return. Okay, it's 3 minutes before noon, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a sad moment in radio broadcast history.
Bob, we just called up Mike Miller, and he's going to be collecting postcards to bring you back to Miami.
Oh, I'd appreciate that. Thank you, Mike.
He doesn't know what we're talking
the real question, of course, before you leave us, positive
or
negative?
Neutral.
I can't believe it. Well, listen, obviously you've really titillated the South Florida audience. They're excited to hear your voice again. We thank you for your perspicacity on the FCC ruling, and of course, probably you'll be the test case, knowing you as we all do here in South Florida. And good luck to you.
Can I ask Bob a question before he goes? I know
you got about 30 seconds.
Was it true that you were up in a rock station up there, and you said something about giving out undercover police cars, license plate numbers, and because of that they jumped on your case, and you were
That was not me.
That was not you. And did you ever play that record that you were part of?
Yes, I did.
A landmark thing in the FCC.
Well, I tell you, this is all so exciting. I wish to hell I knew what they were talking about. But Bob, take good care of yourself. Our best regards to your wife, your boss, Dave Murray, the whole staff.
By the way, what time will you be home this afternoon? I was going to call you today. I have something to discuss with you.
Really?
Really?
Well, I would say probably around 3 o'clock, so long as nobody hijacks me on the way.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Excellent.
Thank you, Neil.
You bet. Bye.
Bye-bye, Fruitcake.
That's Bob Lassiter at WPLP in Tampa, man. Yesterday, Jerry Williams. Today, Bob Lassiter. Who knows? Tomorrow, maybe even David Gold. We're reaching for the heights of broadcast intensity here in South Florida. Now, when we come back, we have 2 more open hours till noon, which makes it very unfortunate because what the hell we do at this point, nobody's got any idea. But
you said you're going to have the young kids call in and get.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, all those kids are going to call in, but of course they'll probably be all your friends, so we'll have to dump him. Tom Gallagher's here with the headline. CBS with the news at noon. We'll come back with hour number 3 at 12:06, and Ernie Sochin broadcasting live from the Hadassah meeting at 2 this afternoon.